Greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Coming at you today with this issue about the bench warrant for failure to appear for jury duty. And they did, in fact, send me something in the mail. As you can see on the screen there. But before we get into it, I want to remind everybody, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There's PayPal links in the details section for anybody who wants to share some love. And of course, we're just doing a short video going over this information on the summons here. So there's no panel link for anybody to join today. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll answer them. So let's get into it. And like I said before in some of my other videos, I did, in fact, go into court and give them a directive that, or let them know the information that I knew that the warrant wasn't any good. So the judge on the bench went ahead and said that she would dismiss the bench warrant and send a new summons. In that, she asked for the address, so I gave her the care of address. And several things wrong here is because that she didn't post the bench warrant being dismissed. She still hasn't posted the dismissal. She's posted a note on the bench warrant, but she never posted that it was dismissed. And then they also posted a continuance as if though somehow they magically got personal jurisdiction, even though we had just got done discussing the fact that those service may have been provided diligently. It was never completed, and therefore the delivery end was the part that fails. And this comes to plain writing, plain English, and being competent to understand the English language, people. So when we discussed this, she said, oh, okay, well, we'll just dismiss it. We'll send you a new summons. What's the address? So then she fails to dismiss it and instead posts a continuance. And instead of sending me a summons, they send me a postcard that says you have been summoned. You have been summoned. Now, this is the opposite of to be. No, you have not been summoned. They're supposed to send you a summons so that you can read it, which is the questionnaire. And under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule number 4, along with that summons, they're supposed to send you a waiver for personal jurisdiction so that you can enter the court voluntarily to plead your side. This is plain writing, folks. And these people are people that are running this system and want to play these games. And I told you, I will not play games anymore. So when somebody sends me a thing in the mail, a postcard that says you have been summoned for jury service, it's placating that the summons process is already done. And now I have to go to court. That is false. That is false. So you look on here and it shows got the juror number and everything, the service date. It says 12/05/2023, term of service 1 trial, report to Blackhawk County District Court. And it says report to. Report what? Am I going to import something that I'm exporting and that's the reporting of it? Or is it something that's already been exported and imported? Now I have to report it. You see, the English language is something you should be questioning, folks. It says you must complete the jury questionnaire online. You must complete the jury questionnaire online. So I went online, and I'll be darned, I couldn't complete the jury questionnaire online because as soon as I got to the part that says phone number, I skipped it. And the online part said I couldn't. I had to give them a phone number. Let me point something out to you folks. That phone number is an international number. That phone number is an international number. One more time. That phone number is an international number. Okay? So if they're telling you you have to have an international number, then they're qualifying you as an international being. But that doesn't mean you give them that number, and doesn't mean that you're required to give them that number either. So I got on the phone and I called the little number right here, 319-833-3333, to obtain your status. Well, that happens to be the clerk's office down at the local courthouse. That's who's running this big circus. So when I call them up and I try to explain to them that I got this postcard that says I have been summoned and that I must complete the jury questionnaire, what they've done is they've created an impossibility. Because when you get online and you start filling out that questionnaire, you can fill out that questionnaire. That's not the impossible part. The impossible part is when you have the knowledge that says, no, I'm not required to give you a phone number, yet your online thing says I am. What's the difference? It's an inconsistency in law, creating an impossibility that I can comply, because I can't comply with both things. That's serving of two masters. That's the impossibility. So she says, oh, okay. Well, let me see if we can walk you through this. And she says, well, put your phone number. I don't have a phone number. I'm not going to give you a phone number. I'm not required to give you a phone number. Oh, I see. And then I have to explain to her that when I went to court because of the false bench warrant to get that fixed up, the lady on the bench agreed to go ahead and dismiss the bench warrant that they never dismissed, and then agreed to send me a new summons. And instead of sending me a summons, they sent me a postcard saying they already sent me a summons and that I have been summoned. And then instead of sending it to the address as I told them in the court, they converted it back to the original address format. So these people, while demanding that I comply with them when it's impossible to comply, are not complying with their own rules that they must comply with. This is the profound idiocy that I am pointing out. And I do have a right to be fucking angry about it. I do have a right to speak to other full-grown adults like fucking grown adults. So when I get online and I start explaining this and they want to hang up on me, I call them right back and let them know, listen, I know you're a public servant in a public trust. I want to speak to your supervisor immediately. I don't play games. I wish you people wouldn't either. That's what makes it so hard for the rest of us. You know, the ones out here trying to make sure everything's done correctly and properly and true. So let's take a look. So this is the summons, Blackhawk County District Court, 316 East 6th Street, Waterloo, Iowa. Notice that's upper and lowercase. Notice that's upper and lowercase. Notice that's upper and lowercase. Over here, upper and lowercase, but in big letters, Iowa Judicial Branch, official summons. That means it is a judicial officer department, a neutral and independent forum within the United States Postal Service, comprising of the judicial officer, the administrative law judge, and the Postal Service Board of Contract Appeals. Now, this is a note here that I put. It says Homeland Security redress for misidentifications. Estoppel for failure, misidentification, estoppel for future misidentifications. It's an injunction in equity. 20 CFR 422.103 clearly states that the individual's name and number identify the record. Yet here we have Keith Orland Little in all uppercase. Capitis diminutio maximus. This thing here has no rights. No rights because it's a title. It is not even a name. It is a title. Ask any English major. It looks like a name in one sense, but in reality, because it's all uppercase letters, it is in the style of a title, and therefore it is a title. The next one, 1334 Meadow Lane, Apartment D, is a street name security. Waterloo, Iowa 50701-4655 is an express public trust of a foreign trade zone. 19 USC 81O says, residents of zone, no person shall reside within the zone except federal, state, or municipal officers or agents whose resident presence is deemed necessary by the board. 19 CFR 149.3 data element says that the buyer, the seller, or the shipped party can all use a number in lieu of the name and address. Yet no one is allowing anyone to use a number in lieu of a name and address, and instead demanding an international telephone number rather than the proper number of the Social Security system. Yeah. Those are routing numbers. You know, Social Security has its own routing number. And then they've got different styles of those numbers that they use on that card. And that's the numbers on the front of the card and the number on the back of the card with its letter. They both can be converted. It's the conversions that are happening. And as you see up here, it says firm. Right there, firm. That's because every last one of the things that I have in this sheet of paper called a financial index. Called a financial index. Let me stop my. Called a financial index, and it puts the name up there as the firm name. Notice again, it's all uppercase instead of the last name. That means they're converting the numbers to match that. So, go back to our presentation. And the next one, jury service information. You have been selected. You have been selected to perform jury service on behalf of the Iowa courts. Thank you. On behalf of the Iowa courts. Did you pay attention? Let me read that one more time. You have been selected to perform jury service on behalf of the Iowa courts. Thank you. Is that a selective service? See, that's a military forum. And gentlemen, you are told that you're required to sign up for selective service. And I'm telling you that's bullshit. I'm telling you to do your research so you can learn the difference. Because we all know that as a student of school, they say you can quit school at 14. So if you can quit school but volunteer to continue on as a young male, that's exactly what you're considered, is a volunteer for national or community service. And you are taking upon the benefit of a higher education, and that's why they call it high school. And you're still under the care of mom and dad because you ain't moved out on your own. And therefore, they're using the medical health system as a benefit as well to take care of you under their household. Jury service is one of the most important duties of citizenship. This is your opportunity to participate in this fundamental and vital process of democracy. I call it democracy, because you truly have to be crazy to think that it only takes a mere percentage, 1%, to shift the tide of truth or false, when truth needs no defense. Not a United States citizen, not a resident. Under Iowa, the resident determination is for Iowa income tax purposes. How can you be a resident if you don't have an income? If that is the intent. If the intent is for income tax purposes and you have no income, then how can you be a resident by the state determination, let alone the federal determination that says you must be deemed necessary by the board? See, on behalf of the Iowa courts, because the Iowa courts cannot represent themselves. Can the state of Iowa step forward? I'm right here. I'm here on behalf of the courts of state of Iowa. Isn't that what you called me in here for? Is to correct your fucking insanity? Do it. Call me into your courts again. Tell me I've been summoned. And I'm going to show you on behalf of the Iowa courts, because none of the Iowa court people have the balls to stand up and place the truth in the record like I do. You bitch ass slaves. Run. 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 Your questionnaire. You may complete your questionnaire by filling out the information in this paper questionnaire and returning it to the clerk of court's office within 10 days receipt. And this is the issue, because when I send it back, the clerk is going to enter in a firm name and an obligor number instead of the name and the number on that Social Security card as it is. They're going to convert it. They're going to convert it without you knowing, unless you know it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. They're doing things behind your back that you don't know. I'm telling you what they're doing, and you refuse to believe me, which is a good thing, but you also refuse to do your own fucking research, you bitch ass slaves. And that's just the front of it. Everything else is, alternatively, you may complete the questionnaire online, So instead of giving me the summons and then telling me alternatively I could do it online, they sent me a card telling me I needed to fill it out online, which creates the impossibilities again. So let's go to the next one. This is the front side, or the back side, the questionnaire. And notice on the top I put Keith hyphen, little hyphen. And then this second day in the 11th month in the year of our Lord 2023. Benefactor to beneficiary, no waiver included. Federal Rules, Civil Procedure Rule number 4. And notice again, this is all uppercase, jury questionnaire. That means it is, in fact, a document of title in trust. It says, are you a resident of the state of Iowa? No. Are you a citizen? Or excuse me, are you a United States citizen? No. It says if you are not a citizen, please attach proof of non-citizenship, visa, or green card information to your response. No such record. If you are not a citizen, please attach proof of non-citizenship. No, you prove that I'm a citizen. You asked me a question. I gave you an answer. Now you're telling me to prove it. No, you prove that you have the reason to ask me if I'm a citizen and then say that I'm a citizen if I say otherwise. You have to have it proof that if I say I'm not a citizen, that I'm lying. Otherwise, you have to accept the fact that I'm not a citizen. Unless you can prove that I am. You ignorant bitch ass slaves. Show me where anyone is born in the United States when there is no such birth registration in the United States. Now prove how that United States citizenship isn't just a mere presumption implied from day one and never proven and doesn't have one bit of evidence. Do you, and then I line item vetoed, understand and overwrote, comprehend the English language when written, spoken, or manually signed? See, now that's a funny one. I put see attachment and yes. And I want to show you real quick before we go down to the next one. We're going to skip all the way down to the bottom of the document here, where it says signature. See, under Iowa Code 633A, which is trust code, section 1102, which is definitions, point 11, which is the definition for instrument, much like the Uniform Commercial Code. Instrument means negotiable instrument. Here, instrument means signed writing. So the signed writing is an instrument, and it's in the trust code. So it's an instrument of trust. Therefore, the document of title in trust. And they're trying to get me to contract on behalf of the courts of Iowa. But instead, what I did is in the interest of the United States, for the account of the United States, legal tender. It's an instrument, and it's being tendered legally by the terms and conditions put on it. under 50 U.S.C. 4305b2, full acquittance and discharge, where no person shall be held liable in any court. And the directive is to extinguish the debt with this date, 11/02/2023, which is yesterday's date. And it is below the line on the right-hand side, the last thing on the page, other than this page 2 of 2, showing you that it's the back side, the private side. Keith, full colon, benefactor, full colon. Indisputable evidence in, on, and for the record on the document of title and instrument of trust, the benefactor has given his directive to settle for full extinguishment of the debt. Now, if these people operating in trust law don't understand plain writing, they're the ones that are incompetent, negligent, or committing fraud willfully and intentfully. I don't play games. So let's look at the next one. Are you able to receive and evaluate information to accomplish satisfactory jury service? Yes. It's too bad that 99.9% of the other rest of the people aren't. You bitch ass slaves. Going in there convicting people when you don't even know how to convict yourself of the truth of the word. You are not convicted. How can you convict somebody else? You bitch ass slaves. Have you ever been convicted of a crime other than a traffic offense? Yes. If yes, explain. 93 individual cases clarifying firm name of LITT and obligor number. Just a little note for them to pay attention to that I'm onto their game. All 93 of those cases. Now, I don't know about this bench warrant. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for fact because I haven't gotten another financial statement from them. I haven't gone down there and gotten that financial index from them. I'm waiting. I'm letting them see. This is the thing about letting other people lay the rope to hang themselves with. See, this isn't about hanging me. This is about hanging them their own selves. Like I said, if you're not convicted in the word of truth, then you're going to get convicted by somebody. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? See attachment. Change legal capacities in record. Yes. So on my attachment, which I haven't written up yet, I'm going to do it here today. Handwritten, of course. It's going to have a little thing about their thing on there about their financial index having those 93 cases, but they're missing one. See, there's one case that's not there. And I'm not talking about the bench warrant. I'm talking about the felony, second-degree robbery. Somehow the state removed that record, said, oh, you're capable to get your rights back. Governor granted you your rights back. So they expunge it. It's one of those things some of these states are doing. They're automatically expunging certain felonies after a certain number of years because they want you to be that citizen again. They want you to incorporate yourself back into that system, that beast system. You answered yes to the above question. Answer each of the questions below. If you answer yes to any of the below questions, provide supporting documentation. Are you currently? No. Under supervision? No. Are you currently registered as a sex offender? No. Are you required to serve a special sentence? No. The next one's, have you or any close friend or relative been party or witness in a court case other than a divorce proceeding? Yes. If yes, explain. No, thanks. Do you have a close friend or relative employed in law enforcement? No. If yes, explain. No, thanks. Have you or any close friend or relative been a victim of a serious crime? Yes. If yes, explain. No, thanks. So you don't have to give them this information. They have to prove that you are required to give them this information. You make them prove that first. Have you served as a juror before? No. Level of education? None of your business. Marital status? None of your business. Spouse's name? None of your business. Occupation? None. Number of children? None of your business. Spouse's occupation? None of your business. Employer? None. Ages of children? None of your business. Spouse's employment? None of your business. See, these are statistical data elements that they make their business. You really need to quit giving them to them. This here says your race, ethnicity, and gender information helps the court ensure jury panels are representative of the community. Wait a minute. I thought it was on behalf of the Iowa courts. I thought you wanted to be representative of the courts. See, the courts are fictional and have no gender. They have no race. And you want me to stand up there and be representative of the Iowa courts with gender and race? You fucking idiots. You bitch ass slaves. Automatic exemptions are not allowed for reasons of inconvenience, hardship, or age. Really? Automatic exemptions. I guarantee you there's an automatic exemption that says if you're not associated, that's a First Amendment, freedom of association, freedom of association, and the right of press, freedom of the press, and the right to redress the government for grievances. I bet those are all exemptions in the very First Amendment. You dumb bitch ass slaves. First-time requests for postponements do not need to be for good cause. Subsequent requests for postponement must be for good cause. Show me your good cause first and foremost before you start telling me about my cause, whether it be good or bad. You bitch ass slaves. There is no exemption from jury service based solely on age. To request an exemption or postponement indicate that's an indicia, just like the prepaid postage indicia. You indicate that it's prepaid. You bitch ass slaves. Please attach supporting documents. See attachment. Variances from categorical pretreatment standards that are fundamentally different in nature. How's that for your fundamental and vital for your democracy? There is no exemption from jury service based solely on age. Exemptions must be based on some other good cause. So age is a good cause. An example of good cause would be pursuant to Iowa Code Section 235F1 concerning a vulnerable elder. That sounds like based on age. Vulnerable elder means a person 60 years of age or older who is unable to protect himself or herself from elder abuse as a result of age or mental or physical condition, or because a personal circumstance which results in an increased risk of harm to the person. See, once you're retired, that person is supposed to be put the fuck away. And if you're not part of the association, you don't bring out the person. Instead, everybody's been indoctrinated into believing that they have to have that Social Security in order to get a job. So you got to go get a job. And in order to get that job, you got to have an ID. So you got to go down and get an ID. And then if you live far enough away from your job, you got to have a driver's license. So instead of getting an ID, you get a driver's license. Either way, you're placating to an associative system that says you got to serve this master, this master, this master, this master, this master, and this master all throughout the day, and you get no time off from serving a master that ain't your master, you bitch ass slaves. I don't give a fuck what anybody says or does on their own. That's up to them. But when you start pointing your fingers at me and try telling me I have to do this and I have to do that, fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck your father, fuck your children, fuck you. You want to come to me and ask me? Then we can sit down and talk about it. But when you go around telling people they must this and they must that, and then when they question it, you want to get all indignant with them and hang up as if they're asking stupid questions. I guarantee you, you come in front of me, you come in front of our Father, you dumb motherfucking bitch ass slaves. Serve him. Placate to all this convenience, comfort, cognitive dissonance. And that's where you lose your power. It's not even your power, it's his power. It's the power of the word. And you placate to the words that lie and make everything convenient. Therefore, that's the master you serve. You serve the master of lies. You serve the master of this world, the devil, the Satan, the shaitan, that says, here, I'm going to test you. And you don't even worry about the test. You fail the test and say, okay, well, just keep testing me. I'm just going to keep giving in. I'm going to be the sucker. And when somebody or something happens in your life and you want some help and somebody comes along to help, are you really going to be able to accept it? Probably not, because you're going to slip right back into them fucking lies because it's so fucking convenient, so fucking comfortable. See, that's the problem. People think they can walk big and strong, walk tall. You can't do that unless you walk with somebody else. Ain't none of you fucking walk this world alone. Ain't none of you told everybody to fuck off. You're going to do things your way, the way you know how, the way things are naturally done. You keep placating that you got to do them the same way as the Joneses. You got to keep up with the Joneses. You got to do this and you got to do that. I gave up the banking and all that 7 years ago when that shit happened in those courts. And you know what? I had to sell everything off. You know what? I still don't have a car. You know what? I still propose that travel rights shit. You know what? As soon as I do get a car, I guarantee you, I'm going to be the one that makes sure that it's recorded correctly, that it ain't none of your fucking business. It's mine. And when you come to ask me how to do that and want to throw money at me to do it, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You don't get it. It's not about the money. It's about being able to dismiss the money because the true value is in the word. That's all I got for today, folks. So remember, God bless. Have a good day. Remember, I don't give a fuck about whether you love me back, but I love you with all of my heart because that's my job. My job isn't to be sweet and pander to your comfort. It's to wake your fucking ass up. You're stupid. You're abusing yourself. You're enslaving your own children. You're doing it all yourself because you are lazy. Lazy bitch ass slaves. I'm out. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.